Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
Celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7. I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
That's right, folks. Order now. Check it out. Go to mypillow.com. Great partners with us here at the Oreo Express, and helps us out. You get to shop America first, America only. Go to mypillow.com. Promo code Oreo. Welcome back, folks. We are live. We are here. Josh here, Oreo Express. Thank you for tuning in. We got some stuff to talk about. We got the Democrats playing victim after they literally told the intelligence agency and our service members to go against the Constitution and ignore legal and lawful orders from our president, a type of insurrection, a type of sedition, if you will. We covered it this morning, but we got some more because now they're the victims. Poor them. We also got some other stuff we're going to touch on. Obamacare. Some stuff is we've been talking about a lot of fraud. We had that place in, was it Minnesota today that funded terror groups. We got more. Fake news. A fake news article is out and all the Democrats are sharing it just like they usually do. They get the fake news. Remember when it was, who was it? Ghetto Crockett saying that Lee Zeldin took money from a convicted sex offender and then got called out. Well, there's more of that going on, and Democrats everywhere are sharing it. What else do we got? More stuff, like I said, on the Affordable Care Act. Federal judge has told the Trump administration to end the National Guard in Washington, D.C. I think crime was getting too low for them. Updates on an assistant principal at a local high school and his brother were arrested for plotting to shoot ICE agents. I mean, it's crazy. We got this whole show lined up for you, and want to say thank you for tuning in on this Transgender Day of Remembrance. I remember something. I remember court yesterday. We'll get into that in a minute, but thank you all for tuning in. And I'm just going to put this out there. Lee Bart has not emailed from the raffle. Trina's all taken care of and shipped, but Lee Bart was donated some gifts and won the raffle, and I haven't heard anything from Lee. I spent like 20 minutes going through my email, make sure it wasn't in junk and everything else. So if you see Lee, let them know, and hopefully we get that taken care of soon, so it's off the to-do list. No, it is. You got a lot of folks sharing this Transgender Day of Visibility. A lot of Democrats.
Embarrassed initially.
I kind of remember
Embarrassed
some stuff that
initially.
went on too.
Embarrassed
But
initially.
You fucking bitch.
Embarrassed initially.
You fucking bitch.
Embarrassed initially.
Yeah, I remember that.
Embarrassed initially.
Also remember
Embarrassed
yesterday that
initially.
person was had to plead
Embarrassed
no
initially.
contest. Hold on, let me stop this.
Embarrassed initially.
Why does it keep playing? No contest, and pay me $4,400 for the damage they did to the vehicle. So there is justice. You just got to follow through. There's not justice everywhere. In Portland, that wouldn't have happened. In many liberal areas, that wouldn't have happened. But if you missed yesterday, we were in court yesterday morning. How about this one? You know, Governor Gavin Newsom talking about how Trump is raising prices. You know, fails to mention that, what was it now? An $18 billion shortfall or whatever it is. We know they spend that much just on illegal alien healthcare, so it's not that big of a deal to Gavin Newsom. But KSBW TV Action News 8 put out an article I wanted you guys to see, and feel bad for me, guys. Feel bad for me. I'm the victim here, and if you don't believe me, take a look at this right here. According to the California Farm Bureau, Thanksgiving dinners in California cost more than the national average. Does that surprise anybody? We tell you that all the time. And I will tell you, for somebody that, if you haven't lived in California, we always had higher prices. But I will tell you this, some of the stuff that for day-to-day living was incredibly inexpensive compared to other parts of the country. Like our back in the day, you just go back before COVID, Trump's first administration, and fruits and vegetables, because we are the breadbasket of the world, they were like incredibly, insanely cheap. When I would look online, I remember me and Jason used to do things, and I would bring my grocery receipt for fruits and vegetables for the week. And for like a family of four, it wasn't more than like $22, $23. That was broccoli, cauliflower, strawberries, raspberries. I mean, it was a whole gamut, carrots and everything else. And something happened because when I traveled and I would go into grocery stores when we were going through 28 states, I would always go in there. We would buy snacks and go through and look at price. And I'm like, man, California is less expensive. That has completely changed. And I don't know if Gavin Newsom's going to comment on the fact that it's more expensive for starving people like myself to eat on Thanksgiving. I don't know. Maybe it's banquet dinner again. Even our TV dinner, our meals, our turkey meals are more expensive than other states because it's California with Democrat controlled craziness. What else do we got here? So you seen what Trump said about sedition? You see, we covered it all in the first show. And now you have Senator Chuck Schumer crying on the Senate floor after President Trump accused the Democrats of sedition, where they are telling them, and actually the press secretary laid it out really good. You're going to hear from her in a moment. But just take a listen.
Already seen what happens when Donald Trump tells his followers that his political opponents are enemies of the state. Mr. President,
is recognized.
Earlier today, Donald Trump shared a post on Truth Social calling for Democratic members of Congress to be hanged. He also posted a message that said, seditious behavior, punishable by death. Let's be crystal clear. The President of the United States is calling for the execution of elected officials. This is an outright threat, and it's deadly serious. We've already seen what happens when Donald Trump tells his followers that his political opponents are enemies of the state. Every time Donald Trump posts things like this, he makes political violence more likely. None of us should tolerate this kind of behavior. We all remember what January 6th was like. We lived through January 6th. We have lived through the assassination and attempted assassinations this year. We have members whose families have had to flee their homes. When Donald Trump uses the language of execution and treason, some of his supporters may very well listen. He is lighting a match in a country soaked with political gasoline. Every senator, every representative, every American, regardless.
It's kind of interesting. Chuck called for political violence on our Supreme Court justices shortly then after a guy flew trying to kill one of them.
Regardless of party, should condemn this immediately and without qualification. Because if we don't draw a line here, there is no line left to draw. Who would have thought the President of the United States saying his opponent should be hanged?
Nope, he didn't say. He said that this is Chuck Schumer admitting again that what those Democrats did was seditious. He was talking about a punishment for sedition. Democrats are literally opening up the floodgates in guilt right now.
It's outrageous. No president has ever stooped as low as Donald Trump. None. He has made political violence a feature of his politics. And if we don't draw a line here, there's no line left to draw.
Yeah, no line left to draw, folks. Wow, let me actually pull something up. Hold on, I didn't have this up. I wasn't going to share it, but let's see if I just put Chuck Schumer Supreme Court. Let's see if it comes up. Let me put right here, this guy.
I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have wanted. I want to
Let's put this up on the screen here. Tell me what you think.
tell you, Gorsuch. I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
There. The intelligence briefing on so-called Russian hacking was delayed until Friday. Perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange. We're actually told, intelligence sources tell NBC News.
So that was him right there. Schumer under fire for threatening words against justices. But once again, it's Trump saying, hey, we actually have a law against this. And the punishment, well, you have it. Listen to him again. Listen to him again. I mean, they were out. This is like the fake news, the propaganda I'm going to show you. They can't be out there saying, guys, we have better policies for you. Look at what we want to do for the American people. No, their policies, open border, transfer everybody, men and women's sports, men and women's bathrooms. They want to give billions of dollars to the evil healthcare industry. I'm not making this up. You know, this was the party that celebrated the assassination that was allegedly done by Luigi. Their party started putting Luigi hats on. And now they want to give those same CEOs and those same insurance companies billions of dollars. We're going to talk
Capitol Police to give special protection.
Listen, this is funny. This is funny.
Who has gone this low. I have never seen a president or heard of a president who has done more to encourage political violence. I have asked the Capitol Police to give special protection and keep an eye on Slotkin and Kelly as well, because you got to worry after the president says these things.
But we don't have to worry that we have sitting members of the Senate and Congress telling intelligence agencies and our servicemen and women, our young servicemen and women, to disobey direct orders from their chain of command, all in an effort to get Trump. Take a listen to Speaker Mike Johnson. I thought he answered it very well. If anybody wants to cower down, but Trump did nothing wrong. Take a listen to this.
Speaker, how you doing? Posted that Democrats who urge service members to not follow illegal orders should be punished. It should be seditious, conspiracy, and punishable by death. Do you have any response to that?
Look, I know the DOJ and the Pentagon are looking into the legality of all that, but what I can address is what everybody knows. That was wildly inappropriate. It is very dangerous. You have leading members of Congress telling troops to disobey orders. I think that's unprecedented in American history. And as the father of a young man who is, at the Naval Academy, going to be joining the service, I know young soldiers, airmen, sailors, they don't need that kind of nonsense from people in Congress. It is very dangerous.
But punishable by death. I'm
going to let others define what it is, but it's wildly inappropriate.
Yep, that's what I would call it too. You had also Carolyn, press secretary, just killing it. Bodying reporters. Talk about it. We're going to show you a murder.
Encourage and incite violence.
On the air right
Carolyn,
now.
can I just
Take a listen to this when she responds to a reporter.
Of the president and the vice president accuse the other side of encouraging political violence. Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to encourage and incite violence? They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command, not to follow lawful orders.
Actually,
every single
can refuse an illegal order, which
but
is
they are
illegal
but they're
military
suggesting, Nancy, that the president has given illegal orders, which he has not. Every single order that is given to this United States military by this commander-in-chief and through this chain of command, through the Secretary of War, is lawful. And the courts have proven that. This administration has an unparalleled record at the Supreme Court because we are following the laws. We don't defy court orders. We do things by the books. And to suggest and encourage that active duty service members defy the chain of command is a very dangerous thing for sitting members of Congress to do. And they should be held accountable. And that's what the president wants to see.
Man, it would be interesting if you actually held them accountable for that. Again, we're going to show you more of how they're playing the victim, but she said it absolutely eloquently. They are asking our 1.3 million servicemen and women to disobey legal, lawful, and orders that they took an oath to uphold. Listen to this right here. This is just, these people are rabid. Listen to this when she ends her press conference right here.
I'm going to let you all go because the president, excuse me, I appreciate the encouragement this morning, but this afternoon, but President Trump is about to meet in minutes with Israeli hostages who this administration freed. And so I'm going to go up to that meeting and you will hear more about that later. Thank you. I'm going to let you all.
Man. Again, Democrats, just like the Epstein. Nothing to do with policy. Democrats, they'll complain about pricing. When pricing spiked 20, 30%, 40% on your items at the grocery store under Biden, silence. Your cup of coffee's 3 cents more a cup. Oh my God, we got to do something. It's just absolutely. And I'm the first one that says prices need to come down. I do, and I've loved what has happened with gas. But what's interesting is I wanted to go through this and talk about what they did is sedition. 18, I pulled this up for you. I'll put this on the screen. 18 U.S. Code 2387. It says activities affecting armed forces generally. The statute is commonly referred as the subversion of military or advising desertion, sedition in wartime law. Whoever, with the intent to interfere with, impair, or influence the loyalty, morale, or discipline of the military or naval forces of the United States, advises, counsel, urges, or in any manner causes or attempts to cause insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of duty by any member of the military or naval forces of the United States, distributes or attempts to distribute any written or printed matter which advises, counsels, or urges insubordination. This is exactly what they did. This is a law. This isn't, oh, well, we're just saying it. No, it's right here, 18 U.S. Code 2387. Look it up for yourself. Whoever, with the intent to interfere, impair, or influence the loyalty, morale, or discipline of the military or naval forces of the United States. Again, I'm not going to hold my breath and think these people will be held accountable. We know that. And they're playing victims. Just listen to this cuck. He says, today, Donald Trump called for my death. No, it's not what Donald Trump. Again, they are actively admitting, he said, sedition. Now, they're the ones saying they committed sedition. Take a look.
Congressman Chris Deluzio here. Today, Donald Trump called for my death, called for the arrest and the death of me and several of my colleagues, all who've either worn the uniform or served intelligence services. He didn't want to hear a basic lesson that we know about our Constitution, about the oath we all take when we serve, whether in Congress or your first day out of boot camp. These are bedrock principles in our country, that you follow lawful orders, that the oath to the Constitution, the loyalty to the Constitution comes above all. I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not going to be deterred from my duty to represent the people who sent me to Congress and to uphold my oath to the Constitution. Don't give up the ship.
Oh my God, these people are embarrassing. There's more. There's more because they had to go out on their thing. Listen to this one. We played him on Fox News. The video clip we played in the first show and last night from Fox News was just laughable when they said, well, give us one example. Well, back in his first administration, when he asked, why can't you just shoot them in the knees or what? Give me a break. These people are struggling. Listen
Speaker have to
this.
approve the additional House security?
Listen to this. Hold on.
I'm not sure about.
Speaker have to.
Let's put this up here. I'm going to move this back. I don't like it like this.
Speaker have to approve the additional House security?
I'm not sure about that, actually. I've spoken with Hakeem Jeffries. Speaker Johnson has not reached out to me, which frankly is very unfortunate that the Speaker of the House wouldn't respond to this and take this very seriously. In fact, he seems to have joined the chorus of disinformation and propaganda by the president and Caroline Leavitt, which is once again beyond disappointing to see the failure of leadership on the Republican side.
Propaganda. Remember disinformation and propaganda, guys. I want you to remember that because we're going to get into disinformation and propaganda. We're going to get into that, a lie that's going around. But first, let's check out Senator Slotkin. Oh, poor Senator.
This really isn't about...
You encourage our military men and women who have taken an oath to disobey that oath. And you think you're the patriot, huh? Take a listen. This is just laughable.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin, senator from Michigan, former CIA officer. Earlier today, President threatened myself and a number of other service and veteran lawmakers with arrest, trial, and death because he didn't agree with a video we put out this week. This really isn't about those of us who made the video. This is about who we are as Americans and how we're going to engage with people who we disagree with. I would hope that people of all backgrounds, Democrat, Republican, Independent, would agree that threatening death for people you disagree with is beyond the pale of who we are as Americans. I love this country. It has given me everything, everything. And I refuse to believe that this is the new normal. I refuse to believe that we're going to use fear and intimidation against people we disagree with. And I'm not going to be forced away from speaking up on behalf of my country. I swore an oath to the Constitution many times, most recently less than a year ago as a senator. To the Constitution, not to any one man, not to any one president. And I abide by that oath. For me, I believe in the power of this country and that we are better than our current politics represent.
You can't make this up, guys. It's like we are in wacko world. From one day to the next, I'm a hero, I'm a saint, I'm a victim. No, you are an absolute treasonous, seditious traitor. That's what you are. And I think, to be honestly, I think the average American that doesn't watch our show, that doesn't live on CNN, that just goes to work, when they hear this, if they hear an uncut, unedited, woke-splaining CNN, if they just hear what they said and listen to what Trump said, and they have any idea what the Constitution says and what the punishment for sedition is, they're going to say, wow, these people were way out of line. And old Uncle Bill, thank you very much for gifting a subscription to the Oreo Express. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all the help and everybody that supports the channel. Thank you, old Uncle Bill. This one says, Brian Dean Wright. This guy says, hey, he took Senator Slotnick's video and reposted it and said, hi, we worked at the CIA together. Your video for intel and military personnel was seditious. It was a call to ignore the President of the United States, wrapped in a wink of, but make it lawful. It was propaganda. You know what you're doing, and so do I. Couldn't. I mean, that's somebody who served with her at the CIA. Just insane. Just insane. Oh, man. But we're going to talk about misinformation here in just a minute. But before we do, we have been covering Rep. Sheila Cheerfulis McCormick, the one that has now been indicted by the Department of Justice, laundering, stealing, campaign, all kind of stuff, $5 million. And you know why this is all going on? We all should have known. It's a weaponized government. It's because she's black. You just can't be black in America, or the DOJ is going to go after you. Take a listen to this. I hope her ass roasts. I really do. Take a listen. The volume's a little low on this video, but take a listen.
Hi. Your thoughts on the indictment, please. Indictment, and it seems like these intimidation tactics have been pervasive. We spent all week seeing different members getting censured, all in hopes of intimidating and kind of distracting from the Epstein files. And I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, black and brown people.
Minorities, black and brown. She even had to throw Epstein, like somehow this is a distraction from Epstein.
Then we're going to have to keep fighting for the district. And everybody has been giving me so much support. And we're going to keep fighting until the district gets what it needs, which is fair prices, housing, and fair representation of Congress.
But did
so
you,
thank you so
improperly
much.
use the FEMA funds?
Calls on some of your colleagues to step down or resign.
They didn't elect me. It was my district. And so we'll keep fighting for the people and keep working like we're doing now until they get what they need. So we're here for the people. So the only people who elected me should make that decision. Thank you so much.
Well, your money elected you. Your little fraud scheme elected you. She got an overpayment. Her family's healthcare agency got an overpayment of $5 million. And they funneled that through multiple family members, allegedly, and did all this typical Democrat stuff. And I think this one, I think she'll be doing some prison time. I really do. I listened last night after this came out to people that aren't on the right, aren't on the left, people that give a fair assessment whether it's they're going after Trump's orders or they're going after this, and what this case has. Let me see if I can find one of those really quick. Let me see if it. I mean, she's been under investigation for other things too. This is just great. I don't see the video here. Let's see. Listen to
Now
this.
facing up to 53 years behind bars. She was indicted after being accused of stealing $5 million in disaster relief funds and then using it to benefit her 2021 campaign. In a statement, the Attorney General Pam Bondi saying using disaster relief funds for self-enrichment is particularly selfish, cynical crime, adding no one is above the law. The DOJ says the Congresswoman conspired to use those overpaid funds to benefit her campaign and then try to disguise where the money was coming from by using multiple accounts. We are told that this investigation does date back to the Biden administration, and this morning, no word from the Congresswoman or her office, George.
And Rachel, the House is also moving to investigate a Republican congressman from Florida.
Yeah, this is Congressman Corey Mills, and a fellow Republican tried to censure Congressman Mills in the House. That ultimately failed, but now the House Ethics Committee has launched an official investigation into Mills.
Good. But as you can see, folks, I think she's going to get some time for this one. They've been busting a lot of fraud. You guys, a couple times a week, we are bringing you where they have uncovered a COVID money, FEMA money, all these little incentives of your tax dollars being wasted, going to elect her. And we're going to see all that. Just a reminder, guys, by the end of this show, we want to go do some police calls tomorrow night. We got to rent a car for one day, so pick it up tomorrow afternoon and drop it off Saturday morning. Friday night police calls, and Roberto will be with us, keeping us protected from all the evil out there in Fresno. So if you guys want to help, we've got one $20 donation that was on Rumble, but if you guys want to help and get us out there, we would appreciate it. We got to rent a car, gas, and food for tomorrow night, and then we'll bring you 6 to 8 hours of some exciting police calls in the Fresno, Clovis area, probably mainly Fresno. So by the end of this show, we gotta have that money so I can reserve the rental car. If not, that's all right. We'll do it another time. But if you guys want to see that tomorrow night, we appreciate it, and we say thank you. And hopefully, 25 people could pitch in $5. That would be excellent. So let's move on now. We talked about misinformation. And propaganda. That's what Jason Crow said. Right? How about this? This is going around now. And oh boy, was it all over the feeds today. The U.S. Coast Guard will no longer classify the swastika, an emblem of fascism and white supremacy, as a hate symbol. Instead, the Coast Guard will classify the Nazi-era insignia as potentially divisive under its new guidelines. That's from the Washington Post, folks. Right? It must be real. Let's see what else we had. Senator Scott Wiener, the one that won, the groomer of California, the one that's running for Pelosi's seat. Let's see what he says about it. And it was everybody posting this out. Alex Padilla, Governor Newsom, says it's not just Nick Fuentes. The rot is so much deeper. Says the U.S. Coast Guard will no longer classify the swastika, an emblem of fascism and white supremacy, And it says the murder linked to the murder of millions of Jews and the deaths of more than 400,000 U.S. troops. Right? Wow, there's a lot of people putting this out there. And Homeland Security comes out. This is the Washington Post article saying the same thing, exclusive. The U.S. Coast Guard will no longer classify the swastika, nooses, and Confederate flag as hate symbols. Well, the Confederate flag should have never been a hate symbol. Says Homeland Security, y'all are just making things up now. Now, that's propaganda and misinformation. So bad so. I just want you to see this. We played Jasmine Crockett's lies when she said Lee Zeldin got money from Jeffrey Epstein. The lie was so big, even Jalen's favorite show called it out, The View. Take a listen to this. This is how bad things are for the Democrats right now.
Both sides of the aisle are hurling accusations about ties. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett had to walk back false claims against some Republicans. Even she is involved here. And House Oversight Committee Chairman pointed the finger at Democrats. She is the chairman.
Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin. My team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people.
Okay, it is also false that Mitt Romney and the NRCC took money. What's the NRCC?
The National Republican Congressional Committee.
Okay.
And she named Lee Zeldin, who also did not take
So it's not true that they took money from Jeffrey Epstein? Yeah. So is this...
There's a different Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, it's a different... It's so confusing
but Joy,
and annoying.
This is why people get so frustrated with politicians.
Yeah.
Something horrible was done. We all agree on that. Epstein engaged in horrific crimes. Yeah. But people care more about, well, my team didn't do it, your team did.
Yeah. And why is this a political issue?
Exactly.
It's
also
sex abuse of children.
When she said, my team looked into this quickly, when you're going to throw out an accusation that big, which we all know this case is that big.
Yeah.
Just own it, say it was a mistake, and move on, because to then try to say, well, they lie and we don't lie, again, it's the distrust in Congress and our politicians.
But the bottom line is, and you've said this before,
it's not,
Sarah,
it's
this
not
is not a partisan issue. This is not a
right, but I'm speaking purely to don't sling an accusation out on the congressional floor and not dial it back quickly, abruptly say, I got it wrong, and move on, because it isn't political. It's criminal.
It's hellish at this point. I don't know why there are two sides to an issue.
It's hellish at this point. When you're called out by the rag view and you're a Democrat, that's pretty crazy. And old Uncle Bill, thank you so much. Old Uncle Bill says, I'll put 50 on Zelle tomorrow. I hope someone will match. Challenge anyone? Thank you, old Uncle Bill. Appreciate you, and appreciate you guys for just keeping us out there doing the things that we do. Appreciate you. Let's see what else we got. Speaking of the propaganda they're spilling when it comes to taking the swastika and making it approved and all this stuff. Tricia McLaughlin came out and also set the record straight. But again, they push it out there. They don't care. Democrats don't care if it's a lie. They just push it out there and hope you can go out to if you go out to a protest this weekend, this is what the protesters will be screaming about, because they can't do their own homework. They can't believe the truth. It's just propaganda. Look at what she put on there. This is absolutely ludicrous lie and unequivocally false. The Washington Post should be embarrassed about its published this fake crap. Now, I want a time where we need to, for tomorrow, but it's on Zelle now. Thank you, old Uncle Bill, and thank you for anybody else who matches and helps us out. We do love you and appreciate you. Don't you wish there was some accountability for fake news. I mean, think about it. I mean, Trump sued most of them and won. ABC, I think ABC, CBS. Did he get CNN too? I think so. Not everybody has the money, but this is one of those things. I wouldn't let the Washington Post anywhere near the White House, anywhere near the Capitol, anywhere near the president. If that's what you're going to do, it is ludicrous. She used absolutely ludicrous. It is. It's insane, guys. It's insane. But let's move on. I mean, I'm sure Democrats have more important things to talk about.
I think that the Texas.
How about Al Green talking about the Texas redistricting and what the lower court has ruled, and it will go to the Supreme Court. But listen, they have one thing's on their mind: lie until we can try to impeach Trump again. And they're not hiding it. They're not saying, listen, they're saying that's what their goal is right now. Take a listen to this. This was today outside the Capitol.
I think that the Texas court made a proper decision. I believe that the Supreme Court should follow the ruling of the Texas court. But I also know this: the Supreme Court may not. And if it does not, we still have to proceed. We cannot allow anything to get in the way of impeachment, conviction, and removal. That's what this is about. We cannot allow anything to get in the way of impeachment, conviction, and removal. That's what this is about: impeachment, conviction, and removal.
That's why you're seeing these people play victims. They're putting stuff out there. Impeachment, conviction, and removal. That's all they want, folks. That's all they want. They want to disrupt. We showed you, or I mean, we covered during the shutdown, the Democrat shutdown, the Schumer shutdown. They had an opportunity. They knew people were going to go without paychecks. They knew SNAP wasn't going to be funded. They didn't care about you. They wanted to do it to try to make Trump look bad. That's what everything you're seeing. There is no team here. It's obstruct everything Republicans do. It doesn't even matter if it's Trump. But again, they want to impeach Trump. They want to get him. They want to win in 2026 during the midterms, get a majority, and impeach Trump. That's what they are working on doing. And we need to get our act together, our asses in line, and make sure we're on the ground, talking to our neighbors, going out there, volunteering with our local groups. They're gonna win in 2026 if we're doing what we've been doing the last 9 months. People have taken a break. People aren't out there doing the things. We need to do something. I'm going to tell you that right now. So I just want to show you another propaganda article. The AP put out this post. The Trump administration plans for new oil drilling off California and Florida coast for the first time in decades. Now, we covered this last week. We talked about he was going to be looking at this again: drill, baby, drill, energy, independence, all that things. So I looked at a couple articles today, and I seen some articles putting this out there. And you know what they had? They had a big oil drilling rig off the coast, because that's what it'll do, right? You'll put an oil rig off the coast and you dig for oil. Look at the picture the AP decided to put up. This is what I mean by propaganda. You're leading people into saying, oh my God, we can't have that. Look at that. This is the AP post. The Trump administration plans for a new oil drilling off California and Florida coast for the first time in decades. And they have someone on the beach cleaning up an oil spill. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. You can't make this stuff up. Now, let's talk to Dr. Oz. He talks about some fraud, and we're going to get into some Obamacare stuff. We've covered it. I even pulled up one of my old videos because he's going to say something here. And if you remember, I'll say it after he does this, but just take a look at this quick video. And Democrats, again, want to give billions of dollars to the heads of insurance companies. Take a listen.
My agency, CMS, has been claiming sweeping fraud exists in poorly designed Obamacare plans. These are the exact same plans that the Democrats just shut down the government in order to prevent sensible reforms. You don't believe me? Well, breaking news. The Department of Justice charged and a federal jury just convicted 2 executives in a scheme to fraudulently enroll Americans into Obamacare insurance plans in order to obtain millions of dollars in commission payments. Because many of these plans are now fully bankrolled by federal taxpayers like you and me. It's easy to submit false applications for individuals who aren't even aware they have this insurance, right? And they're not even eligible for the rich subsidies. These scoundrels signed up vulnerable people suffering financial, mental health, drug problems to line their own pockets. They ripped all of us off. $180 million. That's what they took before being stopped by our wonderful law enforcement officers and Department of Justice attorneys who finally brought these individuals to justice. Now, these rackets are real, and we need to fix the Obamacare subsidies that allow it to happen so frequently.
Now, I want to point out something. You guys were probably, some of you that's been with us for a while, were probably watching this next video live. This is a video I put together. This is a live stream I did in San Antonio, Texas, outside the Catholic Charities NGO, the Foreigners First, that got your tax dollars to bring in illegal aliens and promote this invasion, aid and abet. I was outside the NGO processing center in San Antonio, Texas. When was this? This was January 24th, 2024. Illegals that had only been in the United States for less than 24 to 48 hours were being signed up for health insurance. 4 women, one was wearing an Obamacare jacket, were signing up these illegals for healthcare. When we talk about what your taxpayer dollars are paying for, and I'll show you the quick video I put together. This is not the live stream, but take a listen. Look at this. They're out there outside the facility with their chairs. When we walked up, they went away the first time and waited, and they came back. Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt, Obamacare. The way Obamacare works, it allows fraud. It promotes fraud. Those people shouldn't get $1 of your taxpayer dollars. They broke into a country, plain and simple. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And that's what he's talking about. Now, how about this? Let's look at a video that Rep. Eric Burleson put out. Take a listen to
but
this.
a feature that the laws. What if I
Let's put this up.
told you the biggest healthcare overhaul in American history was never really about healthcare? That it forced millions of Americans to buy plans they couldn't afford to use, that premiums skyrocketed, deductibles exploded, and choices disappeared, that the pain Americans felt wasn't an accident, but a feature, that the law's own architect admitted it only passed because lawmakers counted on the stupidity of the American voter, that billions in taxpayer subsidies didn't go to patients, they went straight to the insurance companies, that Obamacare didn't disrupt the system, it cemented it. What if I told you that behind the slogans and promises was one of the largest transfers of wealth in modern history, and that today millions are still paying the price?
Yep, and we got some more on this because we can't just stop with that. We've told you this time and time again. I told you went through my story. I was in management for a company. I did negotiations. I was in the purchasing department. I dealt with the CEO, everybody that dealt with health insurance, and our premiums went through the roof. It was the law, even though my company didn't agree with Obamacare, and we offered health benefits. We had a lot of employees that did not accept health benefits from us. You know why? Because they were getting free health care from the state of California, so they denied it. It made our company forcefully have to pay for their health insurance. So instead of paying 75% of my health coverage and 50% of my family, they kicked off the family, which made my healthcare premiums go up 80, 90%. It's what most companies did. This is also from Rep. Eric Burleson. We got a healthcare fight on our hands now. Democrats are continuing with the propaganda that they're going to take granny off healthcare. This says Biden's expiring subsidies aren't the bulk of rising premium costs. Taxpayers will still cover most of the bill. The truth is, the Affordable Care Act has never made healthcare affordable. Obamacare is broken, and America needs an off-ramp. If you take a look at this, almost the entire Obamacare premium increases paid for by the taxpayers. COVID credits further shifted the costs from enrollees to taxpayers. And it says the premium increase from 2013 to 2014 was 47%. The original Obamacare effect. The increase from 2014 to 2026 was $5,416. The taxpayer's share of that was $4,891. You as a taxpayer were paying 90.3% of Obamacare. When people said, I'm getting affordable health care, all these people that own businesses and they don't work for companies that offer it, and they log on to the little Obamacare website and they're getting insurance for $390 a month. Well, you guys are paying the other $2,400 as taxpayers. And this graph proves it. And then during COVID, like they did with most things, they had COVID money. And so they extended it till the end of 2025. It was such a great deal. Why didn't they just keep it going? You know why? Because it increases so much each year, Obamacare, that it would have been exposed like it's being exposed now, but it would have been exposed earlier. And they would have said, well, we need $78 trillion to keep this going for 20 years. Just crazy. As we talked about at the beginning of the show, and don't forget, guys, if you guys want to help out, we will be doing police calls tomorrow, and we appreciate your help. And your donation will get us the rental car. Old Uncle Bill put out a challenge and donated 50. Thank you, Old Uncle Bill. And we appreciate you. Let me look here. Let that load up. And Michael did a $20 Venmo on the last show. Thank you, Michael. Federal judge ordered the Trump administration to end its months-long deployment of the National Guard troops to help police at the nation's capital. I guess it was working. Again, we have to obstruct Trump. We can't let his policies work. We can't let people be safe. Oh, I just got the updates. Thank you. Let's see. We got some people that accepted that challenge. Hold on. It's loading right now. Bonnie K, thank you so much. And Renee O on Cash App. Bonnie on Cash App and Renee O, thank you for accepting that challenge. We appreciate you. And it looks like, I think one more came through. It looks like we're going to book that. Dawn, matching Old Uncle Bill. Thank you, Dawn. So we're good. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. But think about that. I've seen videos of people that are not political, folks, that travel to DC, that are not in government, that but go down there for business, whatever business they're in, and do videos. And I've looked through their social media. They don't do I hate Trump, I love Trump. They don't do any of that. And they're like, wow, the Grand Central Station, this is the cleanest. I feel so safe. This is awesome. We have these National Guard out here, and they're just, again, non-biased one way or another. And they're thankful for that. Let me put this up. I'll give you the name of the judge. There was a picture of her earlier. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't say her name. Breaking. A federal judge found that the presence of more than 2,000 National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. was unlawful. They haven't done anything bad. They have been helping crime. Carjackings were down like, 60-something%? Judge Gia M. Cobb. And I'll put her picture up. Gia M. Cobb. Let's see here. There you go, folks. You would think they were taking away food or something. But that wasn't the case. I would have been like, quiet, piggy. That would have just been me if I was in that courtroom. Quiet, piggy. But I'm sure the Trump administration will appeal this. We'll see how that goes. Coffin accepted the challenge. Awesome. Thank you. I haven't got a notification, but we'll see when it comes up. Thank you. Breaking. Federal prosecutors dismiss charges against a woman who was shot 7 times by a Border Patrol agent in Chicago. This was an AP story. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time. We covered it. But why are they dropping these charges? Why are they dropping these charges? That's the frustrating thing. I can't agree with that. Now, when we talk about a threat, people's lives at risk, we talk a lot about ICE and Border Patrol. They're Nazis. Democrats want to dox them, want their families to be taunted, harassed, and murdered. Really, that's why you would dox somebody and call them Nazis and Gestapos, because you are now justifying violence against them, right? Take a look at this new one. You're not going to believe this. And look at what the guy did for a living. Man, these Democrats are crazy.
Been arrested, charged with threat. 2 brothers have been arrested, charged with threatening to shoot police and ICE agents, and one of them is an assistant principal at Kempsville High School. Yesterday, Beach Police arrested 54-year-old John Bennett. School officials say he's currently on leave from his position there. The other suspect is 59-year-old Mark Bennett. Court documents several disturbing details about this investigation. So let's send it over to 10 on Your Side's Ethan Krause, who joins us live outside of that school. Ethan.
Yeah, Aisha, good afternoon. And you said it, the court documents do reveal details leading to the arrest of Kempsville High School Assistant Principal John Bennett. Now, according to the Virginia Beach Police Department, John Bennett and his brother Mark were both arrested on November 16th after police received information that the brothers threatened to commit acts of violence against local police and ICE agents. Court documents reveal that the brothers were overheard talking at a restaurant where Mark Bennett mentioned how he had an assault rifle with the ability to utilize explosive rounds that could penetrate protective vests. He also mentioned flying to Las Vegas to meet with like-minded people and how he would return with, quote, enforcement ideas and plans. The documents went on to state that John Bennett added statements of support and enthusiasm for the suggested violence and also expressed interest in joining his brother on the trip to Vegas. Now, both brothers were arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit malicious wounding.
One of them was an assistant principal, folks. Like, they're always teachers. They always have these same style professions, man. That is horrible. I'm going to tell you something. I've always taken my safety and my family's safety very serious. I knew before Charlie Kirk, and we told you guys, a lot of times we go out there and people know, you've seen they've put hits on us. Hey, Oreo's going to DC. You had that guy that was leading the BLM march say my address over the loudspeaker without looking at a paper. He had remembered my address. These people are disgusting, sick, twisted individuals. And after Charlie Kirk, it just reiterated everything. They want us dead. They do. They're playing the victim now because there is punishment for sedition. And we should try people for sedition. But they want people that aren't active out in their community. They want people to be scared to wear their Trump hats. They want people to be scared to go to their city council meetings. You go to your city council meeting and then, here's these absolute retard, reject, cockroach brown berets out there trying to threaten people and intimidate them. They're nothing but a bunch of cowards. And it's disgusting that we continue to see this type of stuff. I'm glad they got arrested. That is scary. That is beyond scary. How about this? Caroline Levitt posted this. It was a Daily Wire article. Almost a third of truck drivers stopped in a Texas immigration sweep were illegal aliens. I'm going to show you this Daily Wire ad. It says nearly 1 in 3 truck drivers pulled over during a recent operation in Texas were illegal immigrants, many of whom received commercial driver's license in California, Texas Governor Greg Abbott revealed Wednesday. Texas troopers, with the help of federal immigration authorities, found that 31 of 105 truckers they pulled over in the state's panhandle on November 11th were in the country illegally. But guys, they're only here to do jobs Americans won't. We know a lot of great truck drivers. There's a lot of great truck drivers in our chat right now. We went on the truckers convoy. When you get illegal aliens, guess what happens? The pay decreases for legal citizens because these people are willing to work for less. They're working under the table. They're doing things not by the rules and not by the books. And not to mention, we've covered numerous crashes over the last 4 months with illegal alien truck drivers that had been given a license in California or Illinois or New York. I hear Pennsylvania's having a problem right now. They're doing the same thing. And now we have American citizens that have had to bury their family members because this was allowed. It is preventable. I remember during COVID, and they were yelling at me to wear a mask when I knew it was a hoax. And you know what they kept telling me? Is one death is too many. Wear a mask. But they never say that when it's illegal aliens committing the crimes. Nope. Well, we have car wrecks anyways. Oh, man. Check this out. Queen City News posted this. I want you to laugh. I want to show you what DHS put out there if you need a laugh for today. Queen City News says Charlotte's Web over. U.S. Customs and Border Protection operation ends. ICE remains operational in Mecklenburg County, sheriff says. Oh, okay. Look at what DHS put out there. Dear criminal illegal aliens, we are gone. It's safe to come out. Oh, man. I just love the social media people in all the departments for the Trump administration. How about this? This is the Pennsylvania one we were talking about. New, the U.S. Department of Transportation is set to pull $75 million in federal funding from Pennsylvania unless the state revokes licenses that were unlawfully issued to criminally illegal aliens. Just recently, it was discovered that Pennsylvania issued a CDL to a suspected terrorist from Uzbekistan. Let me put this up right here. It says Trump's transportation secretary, Sean P. Duffy, warns Pennsylvania $75 million is on the line if the state doesn't revoke the illegally issued licenses for dangerous foreign drivers. So they literally issued a driver's license in Pennsylvania to someone who is in the country illegally, who's a suspected terrorist from Uzbekistan. Man, that is insane. Insane. How about this? We talk about the cost of living, the cost of everything else. Listen to this. Listen to Peter Navarro. Probably won't listen to the whole thing. He was on the War Room with Steve Bannon. The cost of illegal immigration, which there's been people that's done this research and put it out before. Democrats will never talk about it. But listen to this.
The challenge we face politically is that what we've put in motion is going to take time. And in the meantime, people are still feeling significant pain in the inflation area. And the last thing we want to be doing is to tell people things are getting better when they're feeling
did
pain.
Did the White House and people sell the golden age too early? That the golden age is coming. But there's a lot of
we have gotten the memo. And what our challenge now, I think, because the American people are reasonable and this audience is as smart as a whip, is we have to explain exactly what the inflation chessboard looks right now. So let me take a crack at that and go across the various areas. The first thing to state is that everything the Democrats do when they become attractive in anybody's mind, you have to understand this. Everything they do is inflationary. And whether it's the fiscal
spending money, printing money,
fiscal irresponsibility is certainly at the top of the list. But as I'm about to show you, the illegal aliens drive up rents. When you have overregulation, that drives up costs. When you do a Green New Deal, that drives up not just energy costs, but fertilizer costs. Literally everything they do, Steve, is inflationary. So when they're hammering us and blaming us for not getting inflation down fast enough, people always have to remember where it came from. Now, let me give you a couple of examples of the problem of lags. It's a problem of lags. So if you look at the rent issue, housing, it's 40% of the inflation, Steve. And
Listen
it hits
to that.
our people really, really hard. We have to be honest about that. Here's a stat for you. For every 1 million illegal aliens that came into this country during the Biden regime, and there were about 20 million overall, that raises rents nationally by 1% per 1 million people.
1%.
20% increase in rent
just because of the open border, Steve. Okay. Now it's worse than that. And if you want to explain the emergence of Mamdani and these communist mayors in blue major cities,
that would be the communist mayor that's with the president tomorrow. That
would be the same communist mayor.
Is this a factoid that you're going to slip the president before his meeting?
This is a fact that is on the table here. Point is, if it's a 20% national average, it's really distributed more among the blue cities. So if rents are 30 to 35% higher in New York City, and Mamdani's talking about rent control and people are understanding it, the whole friggin' thing came because of Joe Biden's open border policy, okay? And it takes, in terms of lags, it takes a year and a half or two to wring that out of both the inflation and the inflation statistics.
So think about that. 1% per 1 million and 20 million. So let's just say it was 15 million. 15%. We've talked about this a lot. And people, sorry, I'm doing something that you guys will like right here in the background. Give me 1 second. You must accept this. Accept and complete check-in. Just got the car right now. You are checked in. We got the car. We are checked in. So we'll pick that tomorrow after our show. We've talked about it, and we've talked about the lag. Even if you took 20 million illegal aliens and shipped them out tomorrow, the time it takes for recovery and things to settle. What do you say? 2.5 years? But right now, immediately, you have Gavin Newsom in New York and saying, we got to build more affordable housing. Well, why all of a sudden did we have a housing shortage? Because 20 million people entered this country illegally and that's only under Biden. We probably had 30 million illegals here before that, 40 million illegals here before that. It's just crazy when you talk about the cost. We played that thing that DHS put out today. We read that. Your cost of goods, your cost of groceries, supply and demand, folks. That's all we're going to say. If you don't understand it, if I have 5 million people watching me and we have a limited edition Oreo Army hat and we only have 5, the price goes up here. If we have 1,000, the price is right here. If we have 10,000, the price is right here. People don't understand how the economy works. And not only did it cost you and me and more folks, I'm not renting, but you know what I mean. When you think about it, not only does it give you an increase, you are paying for that increase multiple times because you are paying for their 5-star hotels. You are paying for their temporary housing. You are paying for all that. Just insane. Just insane. And then this is another one. I don't know what to take of it. You guys, I'm going to look for more information. I didn't have time to research it because I seen this right before I hit live. But listen to this. This was warning signs posted on the Mexican beach in Mexico. I guess my assumption is probably where we've been before, not too far from the border wall. Take a listen to this and tell me what you guys.
But within hours, the Mexicans have.
Let's put this up on the screen.
Obtain exclusive video from the environmental agency Conivio Global, where you can see Mexican Marines removing the signs, warning signs that suddenly appeared on the Mexican land, an area known as Playa Bagdad. We're told that the persons who allegedly placed the signs came from the U.S. side of the border and can be seen in these pictures. The signs say that this is a restricted area and property of the Department of Defense. It also states that unauthorized entry is prohibited. And if you're found here, you may be doing that the river shifts.
Hate when I do that. Hate that.
We're told that the persons who allegedly placed the signs came from the U.S. side of the border and can be seen in these pictures. The signs say that this is a restricted area and property of the Department of Defense. It also states that unauthorized entry is prohibited. And if you're found here, you may be detained and searched. But within hours, the Mexican Marines taking the signs down from the beach that is frequented by Mexican beachgoers and fishermen.
Se pusieron unos letreros de límites.
The president of Mexico said a U.S. office later did admit hiring a company to put up the signs, arguing that the river shifts and the treaty requires the boundary to be clearly redefined.
They're not happy about that, but just interesting that they're hiring. Again, we're being a little bit more forceful on Mexico. They've allowed the invasion to go through their country. Their biggest export in Mexico is drugs and their citizens. Let's be real here. We've documented it. I remember we documented for 3 years. Nobody coming across was from Mexico. We would ask them. They were from Colombia, El Salvador, Nicaragua. They were from all these countries. And you could not find any. And maybe they were lying because, again, Biden had it originally where if you're from Mexico, you're going to be sent back. We'll take everybody else. And then the last year, Mexico after Mexico, we're from Mexico. And, the Mexican government did nothing to work with its friend and ally and partner. That's what Democrats always like to say with Canada and Mexico. They're our ally. I don't know. I have friends that are neighbors, and I wouldn't let somebody break into their house. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm a little different. Let me do this really quick, and then we're going to see what else is popping off, but I want to get this on there. Check this out, guys. Still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped and only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus with no crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free, and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler. $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler alert, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does, guys. Now, let me jump on here really quick and see if we're missing anything that's popped off in the last, where are we at? An hour and 17 minutes. Let me see if we have anything new here. We got Pramila Jayapal with cult stuff. Honored to be endorsed by... I just want to show you the people that endorse and promote this. It is San Francisco. So Scott Wiener, who is running for Nancy Pelosi's seat, because Nancy Pelosi is retiring after she made hundreds of millions of dollars off insider trading. It said, honored to be endorsed by San Francisco's education leader, school board president Phil Kim, vice president Jaime Hulin, board member Parag Gupta, that name I can't even say, and City College of San Francisco trustee Heather McCarty, all with that rainbow flag and those rainbow pins, man. Lord help San Francisco. Let's see if there's anything else on here. Gavin saying crime is down in California. Let's see. Not seeing anything really popping off. Same things that we covered. It looks like we did a good job of covering all today's news. So don't forget, we will be live again, probably doing one show tomorrow because we will be chasing police calls tomorrow afternoon. I got to talk to Robert, probably start about 6 o'clock. Go probably 6-7 hours, unless it's breaking crazy. Then we'll do it longer. But I want to say thank you to everybody that donated, that allowed us to do this. We are 100% viewer funded. And your donations is what allows us to go do this stuff. So I want to say thank you. Thank you, old Uncle Bill, for gifting the subscriptions. And again, everybody who that donated and helped us get the rental car, gas, and food for tomorrow night. I will be around. I think we're going to go to Old Town Clovis. They have this enchanted evening. We're just going to walk down if the rain's not too bad. It's where they do local stuff, like support local stores and stuff in Old Town Clovis. But if anything does break, we will head right back to the studio and bring you live breaking coverage of whatever it is. And again, that's all made possible by you guys. So thank you so much, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
Where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud. Shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track. Exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. Let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land.